Hello and welcome to Goddess Resurrection. My name is Britta and I am your host. And today's episode is on how to live in feminine energy. How to live in that feminine energy, especially when life is challenging. And we're going to talk about the 7 habits that will help you to live in your feminine energy no matter what. Because yes, life is challenging. It is meant to be a challenge so you can learn and practice in how you respond to it. And that's really all that the feminine energy is about. It's about how you respond to life. The feminine energy is a lifestyle. The feminine energy is the ability to deal with life from your higher self, from your soul. But before we dive in, hello, my gorgeous sister. How are you? I hope you are so well. And I hope you are breathing. And as always, of course, open your eyes and start focusing onto the breath. Nice, deep, slow, conscious in and exhales. Continue doing whatever it is that you're doing. Build the breath in. The breath is the foundation for the feminine energy. And it is the most important thing to come back to. Always, no matter how challenging life gets, no matter the situation you're in, find your breath. Remember your breath. Build your breath into the doings. Make it important for yourself to breathe. Good. So from here, I want to just address today's episode. Right? Because life is not easy. Some of you are going through a divorce. Some of you have lost your jobs. Some of you are single moms. Some of you are facing a health crisis. You know, it's challenging times, especially with, friends and family members all over the sudden getting sick or having issues, right? So there's so much going on, if not in your life. I know a lot of you are also dealing with, close ones, friends or family members that are all over the sudden struggling with something. And of course, then we look at the world at large and we look at the news and it's all, whoa, it's a lot. And so I hear this comment a lot from you in different ways. But yes, it's so hard to stay in the feminine energy. It's so hard to live life and deal with all of these challenges and then to be in the feminine energy. I forget. And so this is the response. This video is the response to you to learn, to deepen into yourself. And that, yes, you can deal with every challenge by being in your feminine energy. Yes, you can move through challenges by being in the feminine energy better, because remember, it's a lifestyle. It's how you respond to life. And so back into the breath. The breath is the foundation for your feminine energy. And let's get into the 7 habits that will help you live in your feminine energy as life gets a bit hectic. The first habit is for you to love your masculine energy. Yes, love your masculine energy. Only love heals. And the more that you know yourself in your conditioning, in your ways of thinking, in your habitual ways, in your tendencies, in your reactions, in your resistances, in your fears, the more that you know yourself in your conditioning, which is the masculine energy, the more you can work with it. The more that you love your masculine side, the easier it is for you to maneuver and control yourself in that. Pick and choose. It's a picking and choosing of how you want to bring your masculine energy in, right? And of course, always, always, always remember that it's a balance. You are both. Of course, you also have to love your feminine energy. That goes without saying, right? Because there are many women out there that judge the feminine energy, and they're very, very, very deeply in their masculine energy. But for all of you who are here, love your feminine energy. Cherish her, right? Revere her, try to be in her, obviously. But at the same time, know that your masculine energy is so important to you. It's this body, that's your masculine energy. It's your intellect, it's your intelligence, it's your ability to advocate for yourself, to speak strongly and voice yourself, stand in your truth, right? Your masculine energy is your protector. Your masculine energy is your protector of your feminine energy. Your masculine energy is your energy, your forward motion, taking action on inspiration, right? Your masculine energy is amazing. I love my masculine energy. My masculine energy is the man I want to marry. Right? We want to love both energies. We want to use them correctly from this place of self-love. You cannot ever discriminate against any parts of you. Only love creates wholeness. Only love creates healing. And so make sure you even love the parts of you that are judgmental or jealous or fearful, right? Love the part of you that plays the victim. Love these parts of you so that you can work with them, so that you can learn to understand that, oh, yes, this is one of my ways. And from this place of love, you are then able to recognize it without judgment or wanting to push it away. And because you're coming from love, you're able to integrate, right? This is how we integrate shadow. This is how we heal shadow. It is not wanting to suppress it or fear it or judge it, but to understand, okay, yeah, this is just an energy that I am now able to shift, right? We cannot destroy energy, but we can change it. We can repattern it. We can mold it. Energy cannot be destroyed, but it can be worked and shifted. And you can always shift it into such ways that it works for you, that it works for your journey. The second habit is notice when you get pulled out of your feminine energy and you are in your masculine energy, right? Notice. Because it's easy, especially in the beginning, right? Because we are all so deeply conditioned in our masculine energy. It's been this way for lifetimes after lifetimes. So it's very normal to get pulled into your old ways. It's normal to get pulled into the overthinking, into getting anxious, into getting stressed out and needing to get everything done, into focusing on what other people are thinking or feeling or wanting or not wanting, right? So make sure you catch yourself when you are in your masculine energy. You know your ways in which you get pulled into your masculine energy. Notice it. It is those moments that matter. It's okay. It's okay for you to get pulled into your masculine energy. You have to give yourself grace. It's a process. It's a journey. It's not an overnight thing. There is no on and off switch. So you will have your triggers, whether it's at work or with your family or with money or with your body or with a partner, right? So maybe all of the above. Maybe you're running a business, maybe, you know, whatever it is, you will get pulled out of your feminine into your masculine. It's normal. Forgive yourself, give yourself grace, but notice it. Notice it. And the more that you love your masculine energy, the more you can smile at it. And the more that you can give yourself that grace and you can say to yourself, oh, well, I guess I get, you know, pulled back into my lovely masculine energy, and to be okay with it. Notice it. And if it feels like it's what you want to do in the moment, make sure you come back into the breath. Appreciate your masculine energy, but come back into the breath and come back into, okay. Reel it in, reel it in, reel it in. All of the attachments to the external, any need to control, any ways of overthinking, any ways of rushing or pushing or forcing. Reel it in, back into center. Back into center. Anchor yourself back in. Breathe up and down your spine. You know the tricks. And come back into, okay, back into yourself, back into your body, back into your feminine energy. Right? And you give it a couple of beats, give it a couple of breaths, and then you, okay. Then come back to what you were doing and do this in this way that you want to stay more mindful about continuing what it is you were doing, but from this inner peaceful center of yours where you're much more in charge, right? Because when you are in your feminine energy, you are in control of yourself. You are aware of what you are doing, right? Hence, catch yourself when you got caught up in your masculine energy. The third habit that you want to integrate is learn to see from your higher self. Learn to seek the higher perspective, right? Learn to see as the light that you are, whichever feels most comfortable to you. Because as we are so used to being in the masculine energy, we're very used to seeing through our old lenses, right? We're seeing through the old ways of perception. These are also part of the conditioning. People viewed through the lenses that they were taught. So seeing through the higher perspective or seeking the higher perspective, right? Always looking for the highest perspective possible. And this is you aligning with your higher self, right? This is you right brain thinking. This is you feminine energy thinking. This is you thinking from your soul, thinking as the light. Again, use what fits you best. So the way to seek the highest perspective is, okay, the masculine energy would go into fear or judgment or fixing or needing to control it. But the feminine energy goes into, okay, what is happening here? What do I need to know? How can I see this from the highest perspective? What am I meant to learn here? What am I not seeing correctly? Right? Because this higher perspective, seeking the higher perspective, is always going to help us feel more at ease. Seeking the higher self perspective, the lesson, the meaning, the co-creation of it is always going to help us not only feel more peaceful, but also align with the co-creation at large, with the light orchestration, right? Remember, this is a school format and everything happens for you. Remember, your soul and your subconscious always working for you and bringing around to you what you still need to learn. And maybe a challenge could be as simple as you're sitting in a car and you're running late, and all of a sudden you're hitting traffic. So the masculine energy would go, oh, I'm running late. Oh no, honking, freaking out, getting anxious. Seeking the higher perspective, you go, okay, what's the highest perspective for me to take right now? Breath, finding the breath. And then maybe it's something along the lines of, okay, I can't move these cars. I can't change anything about it. So let me practice patience. Let me practice being at peace in this moment. Can I breathe and relax and stay in my feminine energy? Even though an annoying circumstance, it's happening for you. So the higher self perspective, connecting with looking, seeking out the highest perspective, is always working with the understanding of that it's happening for you. When you begin to shift it always, that it's happening for you, you heal more deeply, you open your heart more, you get into the practices more easily, you understand that there is a co-creation happening that is serving you. And from this angle, you always feel loved, you always feel supported, you always feel that, okay, yeah, yes, always, always, always come back into seeking the highest perspective. What is here for me to learn? What is here for me to do? What is my practice with this in this moment? How can I be in alignment with my higher self, with my light? It can be as simple as just coming into the breath and practicing peace and non-reaction, right? Okay. Number 4 of how to live in your feminine energy, even when lives are challenging and traumatic, is listen to your body and your intuition. And so the example for this is when life is challenging, or things are going haywire, right? It's very easy that the masculine oftentimes is autopilot, right? It's the default reaction to think, to fix it, the solution, what to do, right? Wanting to control the situation, wanting to control the person, wanting to, again, external, because the challenge is external. So then, people, normal reaction to be in the masculine energy with that. But again, notice you're in the masculine energy and make it your ritual. Make it your ritual. This is really the foundation of the new earth manifestation. Remember, the new earth manifestation is a soul guided manifestation. The new earth is not a mental concept. The new earth is a frequency, and we can only tune into that frequency when we are connected to our soul. Listening to the body, listening to the intuition, listening to the heart is foundational to you being in your feminine energy. It's the foundation of the feminine energy, but it's also the foundation for the new earth. So to notice when you're caught up, wanting to fix, wanting to control, wanting to attach, and instead you go, reel it in, reel it in, reel it in, reel it in, bring it, come back into yourself, come back into your body, feminine energy, back into your body, feminine energy, back into the body, ground, breathe up and down your spine, come back into your body. Learn to listen to your body. Learn to ask your body, how are you feeling? What do you need? not thinking what would be good. No. Ask your body directly. What do you want? What do you need? What would feel good to you? Okay, wait until you get into that communication. In the beginning, you may have to practice, not letting your thoughts say, oh, I guess we should do this, or I guess we should do that. No. Actually directly speak with your body. What do you want, my love? Okay, all right, got you, I got you, right? And then, of course, your intuition. You must prioritize your intuition. Your intuition is your soul. It'll tell you the way to go. It'll tell you what is right and what is wrong for you. It'll tell you what is going to be to your highest good on your journey. Your intuition is not only the guide into the new earth and the navigation tool for the new earth, for you, for your journey, for your mission, for your purpose, but your intuition is also the way in which you stay in your feminine energy, and you use your feminine energy to help you navigate the challenge, help you navigate the situation, right? So you're facing a challenge, and instead of saying, oh, let me think about how to fix it, say, let me feel about it. Let me feel about how to move forward. Let me feel about my guidance. Let me take a moment to feel about what would be the best way, right? Learning to surrender. Surrender to your intuition. Learning to surrender. It's, again, I'm going to repeat myself for the 1000th time. For you to be in your intuition, in your inner communication, in your body, in yourself, and to navigate your life from here is the difference between you being in the new earth, you living an elevated, high vibrational experience, versus wanting to be in the new earth, wanting to be in the elevated experience, wanting to be feeling joyous, but not getting there and wondering why it isn't happening. Because you're still allowing your masculine energy to try to operate in the old ways of your conditioning, right? And so again, this is why it is so important to notice when you're in your masculine energy and how it gets triggered and how it wants to suck you back in and how it wants to be in charge. And you love it and you train it and you go, hey, 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 reel it in. And then back into the intuition, back into listening to the body, learning to surrender to your intuition, learning to strengthen your intuition, so that you can use your intuition when challenges will come up, because they will, right? We're not going to be flying on a magic carpet just because we're in the new earth. We're still on the same earth plane facing darkness. It's still here and it's not going to disappear overnight, right? So learn to surrender to your intuition, learn to work with your soul's guidance and communication, right? It's going to just be the way to move forward in every way. The 5th habit for you to practice and get into the habit of is the sacred sisterhood. You've got to get into the sacred sisterhood more deeply, right? And this may include sister wounding, sister betrayal, healing, mother wounding, mother betrayal, healing. But remember that us as goddesses and wanting to live from the feminine energy has everything to do with the sisterhood. Remember that we pass down through the daughters, that we birth the lineage of the sisterhood. It's through the eggs, right? My daughter's eggs, as I was growing my daughter in my womb, she was born with millions of eggs, right? That came through me, and she will grow her daughter's eggs in her womb. The woman is the closest thing to God. The woman is creation vibration. And it is through the sisterhood, us listening to each other, us supporting each other, us working with each other, right? We cannot betray the sisterhood any longer. When you betray a sister, your vibration drops to the ground, to the floor. You cannot think that you can be in the new earth and take a sister's man, right? All of these females out there that are, feeling so empowered by, throwing themselves at men, whether they're married or in relationships or whatever the situation, right? It's so low vibing. It's so patriarchy. It's so ego. All of that has to go. All of that has to be healed. So it's very important to remember that, yes, not all sisters are yet in this alignment. Not all sisters yet are freed from the patriarchy that is deeply ingrained into them, that ego, that masculine energy, right, of wanting to compete and compare, right? Some of them just do it just to get a kick out of it, just an ego boost. And so you have to have compassion, right? You have to have compassion for them, and also try to explain to them that that goes against the sisterhood, that, the new earth, the ascension path forward is for us to support each other, not to compete or compare any longer. Never, ever, ever compete with another sister or compare yourself to another sister. Remember, goddesses are snowflakes. We are all unique and differently equipped. Our blueprint is unique to our own purpose, our own journey that we're here to complete, right? So learn to honor the sacred sisterhood. It's very important to the feminine energy, to the goddess work itself, to your goddess embodiment, to you being in the highest vibration of the new earth. You have to be in beautiful harmony with the sacred sisterhood. But so number 6, habit number 6 is that do what you feel. Do what you feel, right? So do what you feel, meaning rest, work, play, right? Remember the 3-way balance of the goddess. Rest. If your body has a dip, right? So maybe before it's your moon, right? I always get very tired and I need to rest so much more. And I know this and I feel this, right? And I let myself and I choose that for myself. But it's also in regard to your to-do list, for example. I always, and all of us have to-do lists, right? There's always so much to do, so many things on the to-do list. And it's very important to look at the to-do list and to see the different choices of what could get done. And if it's not an urgent matter, I generally like to let myself feel what I feel like doing. What do I feel like doing first? What would feel good to me right now? What would I like to do right now? And then I get I get the guidance for what I would like to do, right? It's a feeling, it's the wisdom from your being that comes forward. And when I allow myself to do the things that I feel like doing first, I stay in my feminine energy. It comes out in joy, right? So whether it's cleaning the house or doing the dishes, if I feel like that's what I want to do next, I play my music, I dance, it gets all done, and I'm staying in my feminine energy. Versus if I would force myself to do this now because it's on the list, it's the first thing on the list, again, masculine energy, right? Masculine energy would say, well, let's get this done first. It's logic, it's reasoning, right? It's like, it just makes sense. Let's get this house clean first. And so if I would then force myself to do it from the masculine energy, then it will be a drag. And then I would be exhausted afterwards, right? Because it's really not what I was feeling like doing. But when I follow my flow, my feminine energy flow, and I follow what I feel like doing, maybe I need to respond to emails. Maybe I need to run errands. Maybe I want to sit down and focus on my school program, right? So many things to do. But the point here is I always make sure I do everything from my feminine energy. And so when I can, I feel what it is that I feel like doing next. And then I feel like what I feel like doing next after that. And then I feel like what I feel like doing after that. And everything gets done. And I have fun doing it. And I stay in joy. And I am able to, love what I do and enjoy every moment and stay in this beautiful feminine energy flow where everything also gets infused with the highest frequency, right? Because when you enjoy what you're doing, remember living from joy, remember trusting yourself. That is you being in the flow state. And this requires for you to do what it is that you feel like doing. The more that you know yourself and you love yourself unconditionally, the more you can work with yourself and what works for you and how you can make the best of it. Always seek that higher perspective, that higher guidance as to, okay, what would make me feel best? What do I feel like doing? And if you need to do something that is a little bit of a drag, then okay, how can I make this the best experience? How would this work best for me, right? In this moment, ask yourself, how would this feel the most joyous today, right? Always be flexible, feminine energy, flexibility. Okay, good. All right. Number 7. The 7th habit is never, ever, ever judge your experience. And this is something that I come across all the time. Don't judge your experience just because you're on a spiritual path, just because you're focusing on the new earth and being in feminine energy alignment doesn't mean the path will be covered with rose petals. You will face challenges because that's the journey of life. Just because you're facing challenges doesn't mean you're not doing it right. Just because you're facing challenges doesn't mean you're not in a high enough frequency, right? Because so many voices out there are saying, oh, yes, it's a mirror. Everything is a mirror. And your vibration will, reflect itself back to you. And, everything has to be understood in many layers. This is not a black or white universe. And this is not a one-size-fits-all universe. You cannot compare yourself or compete And it's very important for you to not judge yourself or your experience because you're encountering discomfort. Just because you're just, encountering a challenge or a lesson to learn or karma to repay, right? It is very, very, very important for you to not judge the experience because judgment is masculine energy. Judgment is immediately going to be ego. Oh, this is embarrassing and this shouldn't be happening any longer at my point of ascension. Oh my gosh, I can't even say this to anybody. You know what I mean? Like there is so much judgment and stigma on the spiritual journey. And that's all masculine energy. And maybe something is happening in your life just for you to overcome that judgment, for you to overcome that sense of shame or embarrassment or, oh, this shouldn't be happening anymore, right? So again, do not judge. Challenges are a part of this journey. And again, remember, feminine energy is a lifestyle. It's how you respond to the challenges. It's how you co-create with the light. It's how you see it as it's happening for you. As we are in these bodies, we will continue to grow. We will continue to heal. We will continue to expand. And generally, we don't do those things unless we're being triggered, unless we're being challenged, unless we're facing something that feels uncomfortable. And so the spiritual path is not something that will make you or get you to avoid discomfort. No, you cannot think in that way. Again, if that's the way you think, then love your masculine and reel him in and go, hey, baby, that's not what we're doing any longer. That's not how we're thinking any longer. Remember, we're wanting to learn to live life from the feminine energy, which means we're understanding everything happens for us, which means we understand that, okay, even though it sucks and, oh, never a dull moment, but let's take it on. Let's stay in front of it. Let's ask, okay, what am I meant to learn here? Okay, how am I meant to see this? How's this happening for me? What would be my highest timeline practice in this moment, right? Again, draw on these habits. Write these habits down for yourself so that you can really work with them and stop judging your process. Stop judging your journey. You don't know what still needs to be cleared. You don't know why this is happening for you. You don't know why your soul orchestrated this experience. And again, it comes back down to trusting that everything happens for you. And even if you cannot find the reason or the solution in the moment, again, come into yourself, come into your feminine energy. Listen, ask into your soul, ask into yourself, and listen to your intuition. Listen for the answers, listen for the clarity. It might not come the same day. It might come the next day or, a few days in, because maybe you're just needing to process some emotional reaction first, right? Because we're also purging. Let's not forget the purging. You always want to stay present to what is. Another way people judge is that, sometimes I get, some of my clients that are really, really light and they're like in this bypassing energy, and this avoidance energy of, not wanting to feel or not wanting to admit that they had a little bit of a tough week or something. And this is, again, just another form of judgment. And then I have to repeat myself for the thousandth time, right? It's like you're purging. You have to feel this emotional energy. You have to feel what is happening that's in your body. Feel it. Don't think, breathe and feel. Don't think, breathe and feel. Let it come up. Let yourself be in that higher perspective of you're assisting the purging, right? You're assisting the purging. That is being in high vibration. It's not about the judgment of it, right? Which is masculine energy, or the suppression of it, which is also masculine energy, or wanting to get away from it, wanting to distract yourself, wanting to avoid it, right? That's all masculine energy. What can I do? What can I do? What can I do to get out of that discomfort? All masculine energy. And so in order for you to really stay with it all in your feminine energy, always be okay with what is. And if you are not sure if you're purging or not, all you have to do is, okay, well, what is my experience right now? Don't judge it. Just stay in acceptance with, okay, what is my experience right now? And whatever your experience is in this moment is there for you. Otherwise, it wouldn't be there. So remind yourself to trust. Then you ask into yourself, you ask into your soul, okay, what should I do right now with this experience? And then you'll know, okay, yeah, right. Feel it. If it's emotion, you feel it. If it's thinking, you breathe away from it. You can ignore thoughts as much as possible. The more, the better. You never ignore your feeling. You never ignore your emotions. You never ignore your intuition. Ignore the thoughts, never the emotions. Ignore your thoughts, never the intuition. Ignore your thoughts, never your body's communication. So don't judge. Okay, good. I'm gonna put a little list of the 7 in the beginning of this video. So, you can just write it down for yourself to make it a little easier for my gorgeousnesses. All right, my love. Well, here we are. The 7 habits that will help you navigate your life by staying in the feminine energy. I'm sending love and light blessings to you and yours. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your presence. And I see you next week. Ciao for now.